Does that help me with you any?
Oh, hey, man. It's good to see you.
No. Why is it so low?
Goodbye, officer.
I mean, I could put more points into this. I've got nothing. This cuts into my savoir-faire.
The luxury of fine things. Just look at those black monk straps. After spending an entire day hustling, who's to say that you didn't deserve a pair of ridiculously expensive shoes on your tight
I just put
feet?
these shoes on randomly. Beautiful things do make people happy.
Beautiful things give you a rush. It's power, crafting your style, draping your flesh in silk and leather, deciding how to present yourself to the world. Remember, when they come to take it away from you, you worked for those shoes. Whether you like it or not, wearing these shoes has made you more liberal, ultra-liberal. They're either a gateway drug or a booster pack to get you deeper into free market ideology.
Was there something else I haven't worn? Because they weren't red like I hadn't worn them. Okay.
Oh, hey, man. It's good to see you.
Ooh, 17.
Goodbye, officer.
If I get super lucky, I could pass this.
Oh, hey, man. It's good to see you.
Nope.
You close your eyes and dream of the shapes your body should form to bring this strange music into life. For now, such ferocity of motion is beyond you.
But just imagine the moves you could pull to this futuristic beat.
Puts a grin on your face just to think about it. Even a failed attempt gets the juices flowing and repairs some of the damage done by battles lost. If you up the dose and truly dance, who knows what will happen?
You're saying I should take something?
Salvation.
Goodbye, officer.
Save again.
Oh, hey, man. It's good to see you.
Nope.
You close your eyes and
But just imagine.
puts a grin on your salvation.
Goodbye, officer.
I was hoping a failed check would give me a bonus.
Hey, man. It's good to see you.
You close your eyes and vacate your skull, leaving your brain to wonder, where did that little fluttering light go?
Total darkness.
Oh.
You sink down the darkest fathoms of your own personal deep, vertebrate by vertebrate, through the unformed skulls of your mind. Here it will begin.
Where did the church go?
Who fucking cares?
I'm scared?
Good. You should be.
Where'd the music go?
Oh, don't worry. The music's still there. It's you who is gone.
But why can't I hear anything?
This is a pivotal moment. Try not to piss yourself.
Concentrate on hearing?
Nothing. Just the immaculate silence of your spinal fluid. Electrified.
What was that about unformed skulls?
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Every vertebrae in your spine is an unformed skull ready to pop up and replace the old one. Like shark teeth. The one you're currently in has a little brain forming in it, waiting for its turn
Okay.
to rule the world.
Oh my god, is that true?
Yes, it's all true. In the spinal cord.
What do you want?
From what I can see, it's about to bust a move.
Bust a move then.
Foolhardy! Do you even know what's happening on the surface? Maybe 1,000 years have passed. Or maybe you started spazzing out like 2 seconds ago.
With your eyes still closed, the first thing you feel, all the way back in the pivoting darkness of your own torso, is warmth. You have become a triumph of rhythmoplastics, somewhere in a smelly wooden church on the coast of Revachol. The wounds from the war you waged on your body are healing, twist by twist, turn by turn.
Open your eyes and dance like you've never danced before.
You have become a flawless interlocking mechanism, a flesh and bone approximation of the throb coming from the speaker setup of the one called
Nice.
Eggheads, entirely, rigidly, imbecilic, without pity or fear. Free from self-awareness, no deliberation, only, and I mean only, execution.
Oh my god! No way!
The Speed Freaks would-be leader stands slack-jawed in disbelief at the hardcoreness on display. Yes way.
With his reel-to-reel mixer blasting the anthem of a future that will never come, the young man observes your moves for a second. He throws a screwdriver and a bunch of drill chucks into the corner and explodes into dance. What he lacks in sharpness, he more than makes up for in violent enthusiasm.
Turn to a cell. What are you doing?
The young woman lifts her headphones up slightly and raises her chin, looking at you expectantly.
Asil, aren't you going to dance?
No, recording.
She turns to Sonia, then back to you. She briskly shakes her head and puts her headphones back on.
The lead programmer throws the other young woman a knowing glance before turning her attention back to her own work.
Point at Andre. It's the law. Dance.
The young man immediately bounces up and down, then assumes the same dance pattern, embellishing it with some sort of waving motion.
Kim, get in here.
What's going on here? Delinquents.
The lieutenant looks at you and the Speed Freaks grinding around in the church, a group of unhinged lunatics.
This is clearly a Code 31 emergency.
Code 31. I said get in here and dance.
The lieutenant squeezes the bridge of his nose. The light reflects off his glasses, giving him the appearance of a surgeon in the middle of a tense procedure.
Dance, Kim.
He's having trouble adjusting to the new reality before him.
Dance, Kim.
What's happening?
The lieutenant is forced to yell over the futuristic music blasting from the speakers. I'm undercover. I have become Dance, the destroyer of worlds. I'm not doing anything. The music made its mind up a long time ago. I'm just implementing. Help, Kim. I think I'm turning into some kind of hyperstar. I have become Dance, the destroyer of worlds.
Good for you. Rock on then.
I just called you to dance.
What?
Authority legendary. Frick. Can I try this again? My clipboard reduces my authority. Am I still wearing my clipboard? Can I take my clipboard off? I think I still have it.
Who's the
I'm gonna pull rank on you this one time, and that time is now.
Are you kidding me?
I am not. Get your group on, Lieutenant.
Get my what on?
I said, get your groove on, boogie woogie.
Sheesh, okay. Okay, you psychopath. I see what you're doing there. It's jacked up footwork, plus some... is that Ubi folk dancing?
He adjusts his spectacles, then pops his collar as high as it'll go.
Nah, it's not Ubi folk. It's hardcore. Yeah, whatever.
You talk a big talk, Lieutenant. Let's see some moves.
Oh yeah? I did 15 years in the juvenile crime unit. I can do age inappropriate. Now, check this shit out.
The lieutenant begins to heel the church floor with such intensity It's reasonable to fear he'll kick a hole right through it, causing the floor to crack and the pillars to collapse, bringing the church roof down on all of you.
Oh my god.
It doesn't look like he'd give a shit either.
Is there anything more I can do? I want to break the limit.
The dynamic motion of your flailing body is bordering on the extreme. You're going off the charts. You feel as if turning on the hyperdrive will be a point of no return. Feels almost melancholy. Are you sure you have the entire posse along for this?
No, because a cell won't do it. I guess we're all gonna do it.
Here we go again. Hardcore fills the air. The sound above my head.
The what now? The sound above your what?
The lieutenant suddenly stops.
Above my hair, man.
Okay, this is too imbecilic. Excuse me.
Turn on the hyperdrive.
On the coast of the Martinez Inlet, in a small weather-beaten stave church built 380 years ago by settlers from the Occident, most likely to guard against an anomaly at its center, an officer of the RCM is contorting his body into idiotically rigid shapes as he invents the future of dance music. It's the hardest anyone has ever danced.
What is this strange feeling I keep having? It's cold even now.
I am la Revacholière. I am the city.
What do you mean, you're the city?
I am a fragment of the world spirit, the genius Loki of Revachol. My heart is the wind corridor. The bottom of my air is red. I have 100,000 luminous arms. Come morning, I carry industrial dust and let it settle on tree leaves. I shake the dust from those leaves and onto your coat. I've seen you. I've seen you. I've seen you with her. And I've seen you without her. I've seen you on the crescent of the hill.
How are you talking to me?
The modulations of my voice are noted down with thermometers and barometers. You feel me in your nostrils, on the little hairs on the back of your neck. I also reside in your lungs and vestigial organs. Everywhere there is space.
But who am I and why are you talking to me?
You are an officer of the citizens' militia, Jaunt in Rebut. When you wear your coat, you wear my soul. You move through my streets freely, in motor carriages and on foot. You have access to the hidden places. You also circulate among those who are hidden. I need you. You can keep me on this earth. Be vigilant. I love you.
An officer of the RCM is lying on the floor of a small church with his eyes rolled back and his tongue lolling out. Several others are standing around him. He slowly comes to.
Had a good rest there?
I spoke to the city of Revachol.
Fuck yeah! I bet you did. Those were some advanced moves, man.
That's all great, but we should really get going. We spent enough time doing aerobic exercise for today.
Get up. Kim, I spoke to the city, Kim.
You might be imagining it, but it feels like Egghead turned the volume down. Such is his respect.
Oh, thank you, Egghead.
Man! Now!
The would-be leader stutters with excitement.
Now imagine if we could do that, right? But with like 1,000 people. End of human development. Mission complete.
Right, ecstatic.
All right.
You're absolutely beat. Muscles relaxed and feet like noodles underneath.
I guess I'm done.
Goodbye, officer.
Let's take this off. Oh, but it helps with Island Empire and empathy. It's fine. We did fine. It was fine. I don't think I have any more checks I need to pass, because I passed yours, didn't I? No.
What's on your mind?
No, I didn't. Conceptualization. Let's see if I can make this happen. I could put another point into it, maybe.
Yo, man. What's on your mind?
Aggressive.
Nope.
Monotonous, but also somehow sacrum, primitive, yet futuristic, like a machine man. Nothing exists but the here and now. All are one purpose. All you've managed is a list. The parts don't form a whole.
You know what? I'm gonna put another point into it.
Yo, man. What's on your mind?
Aggressive.
Damn!
Monotonous.
You know what? Let's help Sonya with her thing first, in case that actually...
Yes, what is it?
I talked to Egghead and he plugged in the cable. You can unmute your speakers.
Okay, but think you can ask him to turn the volume down a bit? Just in case.
Maximum!
Shouts Egghead, a great smile still adorning his face, larger than a red dwarf star.
Maximum is the only way!
I know it is, but could you please turn it down just this instance? Just this one time? Maximum is not the only way, okay?
Pump it to the bricks! Pump it to the hard master! There's no other way! Glue style!
Glue style? Okay, there literally is no other way. The mixing desk is glued to maximum.
See? He pumps it to the hard master. It's hopeless.
Why do you want to turn down the volume?
Because I'm afraid that something might happen. It's an unknown phenomenon. We can always turn it back up if there's a need.
Can't turn down the hardcore!
I think what he's trying to say is that the volume button is stuck on maximum.
Of course it is.
She shrugs, consigned to her fate.
Yeah! Permanent enlightenment! Ray of sound!
Never mind then. Let's get on with our project. I'm going to unmute the speakers on a count of 5. Everyone ready?
She looks around the church.
Egghead pumps his hand up in the air, waiting for the beat to drop.
Born ready. Ready.
I'm ready if you two are detectives.
The lieutenant nods stoically. Suddenly, your palms are sweaty. The church seems cold and large. Somehow, there's tightness in your chest. Anxiety.
Hold for a moment.
What?
Maybe we shouldn't do this, it's too dangerous. Never mind, let's just do it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mute disengaged.
She lifts her hand from the keyboard. Complete silence fills the room.
No wind outside. No waves. No floorboards creaking. Total, continuous silence. This is unnatural. The woman looks around. In the silence, you see dust move on the floorboards. The driver of the speaker vibrates in the air and then stops. Plasterwork begins to crumble down the walls. In the silence, a low hum starts creeping up your spine. It's a song inside you, not in the speakers, not in the room. A great bass sigh in the basement of your mind. Slowly, it builds until the air around you starts to vibrate. It's out there now, in the world, made manifest.
Oh no.
It will devour everything.
Oh no.
The floorboards, the glass, the streets and the people. Nothing will remain.
Guys, what's going on?
There's alarm in the man's voice as he steps back to scan the surroundings. A slight rattle like crystal clattering in the cupboard fills the air, joining the chorus.
It's getting louder!
His eyes are riveted on the strange circle of water basins.
In the basins, the water looks like it's boiling.
Hosiana! Mother of Mega!
Egghead yells something else, but his voice is growing faint.
In his mind, a tidal wave approaching from afar, swallowing entire coastlines on its way. Salvation.
What is this weird rattling sound?
The beauty and the beat! The future of dance! Planetary!
No, Egg! It's the window!
The glass shards around Dolores Day's vacant heart appear to be vibrating from the sound. It looks almost as if she's alive.
In the corner of your eye, the lieutenant steps aside, cautiously, his eyes searching for a possible evacuation route.
The window is going to come down. No, the roof!
She looks up. A screech fills the air, a scream of wood and nails. The pillars of the church twist and creak above and around you.
Cracks appear on the stained glass window. Cracks run up the wooden pillars in the dark.
Come down to us! Love!
That's it. I'm muting it.
She reaches for the keyboard. We should stop, mute it. Don't panic, it's beautiful. No, maybe I think we should turn it off.
Shit! It doesn't stop. Asil,
Ooh.
have you?
That just collapsed. The woman is furiously pressing down on her keyboard, but the sound doesn't stop.
Yes, I've turned it off.
She holds the contact mic in her hand.
Andre, pull the compressor. The place is gonna come down.
Fuck! I can't shut it up. The signal's passed. It's not in here. It's...
In the mixing desk now, building into a positive feedback loop. This is it. A great roar. The vault of the roof twists above you. Glass shatters somewhere near the door. It's coming down.
It's in the desk.
And then it stops. Totally and utterly. As if there never was a sound. Only your ears still ring from the shock. Everybody is staring at Egghead, holding a dangling cable in his hand. A black 3-pin connector.
Egg.
I pulled the plug. It was getting too hardcore. You did good, Egg. Most of the place seems to be intact. Fucking hell. Programmer lady, tell me you were recording that.
4 years. 22 people. Millions of reals. All that time. This is what we were up against. Just erased it. Suliswolf isn't gonna believe this.
Her lip trembles.
Yeah, but did you record it though? It was dope. I think we can use it.
For your base?
Yes, Andre. I recorded it. Damn, I need to send some letters now.
She composes herself, wipes the dust off her sweater, and rests her hands on the keyboard.
Thank you all for doing this. Eggman, you too. And you, officer. I don't know what we've discovered, but I know what it sounds like now. That's a start.
Kim, did you hear that?
It was very hard not to. I think you're right. There is something going on here. And you need to be very careful with it.
I promise, officer. We will not play it again.
It sounds like Egghead wants to use it. What was that? I've never heard anything like it.
It was mathematical information from the anomaly, presented as a waveform. That's what it was technically. Theoretically...
She shakes her head.
I have no idea. I've never even heard of anything like this.
A voice seems muffled in the silent church. It's your ears adjusting after the exposure.
You're gonna write to Suzla?
Yes, our lead designer. And maybe some of the producers too. And some of the writers. If they're sober enough to open a transmission. They need to hear.
That it wasn't her fault. Or theirs.
They need to hear about this. Don't worry, I won't send the recording. Although I doubt they have the speakers to produce the frequency anyway.
What happens now?
Stay here. I'm going to stay here with these lunatics. Send letters, maybe meet Suliswolf. Also devise further measurements.
I want you to know that's totally chill with us.
Oh.
I don't care, but thank you anyway.
That's the best she can manage for Andre. It's quite a lot in truth. For her, at least.
Now, I have a theory to come up with. Some kind of preliminary explanation to all this. or the letter will sound like I've lost my mind.
Yes, and we have to get back to stabilizing Martinez. Instead of demolishing it with loud bass noise of unknown origins.
Some tiny hard thing lets go in your stomach. You're still alive.
That's almost really bad.
You have an explanation for all this. Somewhere deep in you, you know. The person you were knows.
Okay, I can still fail this, so let me save.
Yes, what is it?
I was thinking all this weird anomaly thing was the Pale, but I don't know now.
You don't have to. You already have. A long time ago.
How?
These thoughts formed in you somewhere, in a long-forgotten discussion, behind a kitchen table, in the evening light, drinking coffee and smoking, with a friend.
Oh, it's the origin point of the Pale. Hello.
What?
The swallow. It's how it starts. It's baby Pale.
But Pale isn't here. We're thousands of kilometers from the edge.
There's fear in her eyes as she considers the possibility.
That comforts her.
No, look up. We're 20 meters from the very edge.
She looks up into the darkness under the nave, then back at you.
The Pale is only in effect a transition between the world and whatever that is.
Then what is that?
It's nothing. No, it's less than nothing. No.
It's less than nothing, the final rest state for reality. Imagine if all this spread your hands never was.
Then the Pale is...
Simply a gradient?
But the gradient, it clearly hasn't started yet. We're here, and the Pale is not.
One day when it's larger, it will be.
I understand. A theory of the Pale where instead of an outer ocean, it metastasizes, like a cancer or a mold, erupting in points inside the world.
And this is one of those places.
According to this, how long?
Until it starts swallowing? It's already started, starting with sound.
And information, causing data losses in the East Insulindian front. Have you considered why it's formed in a church? And also when or how it might start growing, or if it has other effects, in addition to sound and data?
An intellectual hunger fills her now, casting fear aside.
I also have a question, since we are piling them on. How do you know this? I'm not doubting you. I'm simply curious as to how a detective of the RCM
knows how to think this.
It didn't form in a church, the church formed around it. All the failed businesses in the doomed commercial area, all the failure in Martinez. I think I've had this thought before. That's how I know.
An amateur anthropomedic police officer. I'd like to say I've heard stranger things, but I'm not sure. This is a hell of a guess, however. Well worded, I might add.
Yes, it is very interesting. But I wouldn't say you know. This is a guess. One that's going to have to be proved by anthroponetic scientists.
What about the church forming around it?
Of course! A pine wood sarcophagus, or a containment facility of some kind, built by the first settlers.
Acting on an instinctual level or religious practices we've forgotten.
I have considered the same. The bad news is there were 7 pinewood churches built in the first decade of Revachol settlement. Most of them were burnt down during the revolution, or repurposed before, during the suzerain. I'm not saying all of them have one in them, but...
Some of them might. A black grain hanging in the air.
Is this the reason for all the failure in Martinez?
You think the presence of that puncture has somehow influenced the outcome of events here? Even, say, software development?
She already made up her mind when she heard it. Some kind of great and uncaring force had to play a part. It wasn't only them.
Even the revolution was defeated here. I mean, kind of an anthroponetic history.
I told the producers we need to go and move to a normal office building with amenities. But no, the artists like the milieu, the writers like the history. I told them.
She shakes her head. I should let people still working in there know about this. They might be affected. she did say to let us know, what's her face? The bookstore lady. Plaisance said let her know when we find that larger entity, and we found it. I don't know that I agree that this is the cause, but hey, let's go with it.
You mean Plaisance and the dice maker? There was almost no one left when we packed up.
Just the dice maker. I don't think Plaisance would survive this knowledge. Just Plaisance. I don't think Nia is playing fair in this game. I'll tell both of them.
Then go tell them.
She smiles, suddenly encouraging. Okay. One day, all the world will be like that 2mm hole.
She falls silent. The wind blows in through the hole in the stained glass window, cold and moist.
I'm going to leave that out. But the rest? Some of this I can use to start to explain this to the rest of the team. Maybe I'll sound mad, but...
Man, you will certainly sound mad.
One more thing. Maybe a club for anodic music isn't the worst thing you can erect around this particular point in space.
Club's the only thing keeping this place and the rest of reality together? Maybe it's dangerous? I don't know.
I wouldn't go so far as to...
Yeah! Once the light is on in the universe, it will never go out!
Thank you, Egghead. Let's leave it at that, shall we? We have an anthropomorphic detection to perform in this district.
Do have one mystery that still needs solving. The radio ghost in the Doom commercial area's electronic doorbell.
The creepy woman! We were wondering about that when we worked there, but I had completely forgotten about it ever since.
She slaps her forehead.
It must be anthropomorphic crosstalk, the one you get in radios and long-distance calls. Now it makes sense, with the pail right on the doorstep.
Incredible. This would also explain why we get it on the police radio all the time.
Entrophonetic crosstalk?
It's quite common, actually. When the signal gets routed through pail, all kinds of irregularities take place. You may hear snippets of someone else's conversation, or the voice of your former lover, or an echo of an event that took place 100 years ago. Pale is a shroud of memories, and it doesn't really distinguish to whom those memories belong to. You could hear anything.
So it's not just vast nothingness. Interesting. Thanks for explaining that to me.
Anytime.
I'll let you go. Let's see if I can pass this check.
Yo, man. What's on your mind?
Nope, that didn't help.
Dedicated,
apparently it did.
Hyperactive, unified. You will have to add something of your own to understand this list of loosely formed qualities called hardcore. You need your own entry. Make it. Jumping around, as this sort of music requires, is actually a taxing physical activity and should be dignified with a sports suit.
Thinking of wearing sports apparel as my hardcore get up to maximize the mobility of my limbs, see the sunshine, we ain't stopping, keep on dancing till the world ends. You'll have to add something of your own of loosely formed qualities. Note something of your own. Don't seem to have anything to add to the hardcore. Let's add these lyrics.
If you fear it, let it happen. Keep on dancing till the world ends.
Thought gained hardcore aesthetic. Okay. I'm not gonna contact Archer yet. Save. Because I...
Good morning! Yeah! Hardcore!
That sound before was crazy.
Yeah! It was awesome and scary. Very hardcore.
His voice booms through the chamber, then goes silent.
Too hardcore, in fact. I couldn't control it at all.
He brushes his hand through his hair. What happened?
It sucks up all the air in the mix until it's the only thing left. Starts compressing itself and everything around it. Completely fills up the headspace. Extreme.
Inside your chest, the heart beats still with the after effects of the sound. Imagine if you could harness that power, making it pulse.
What if we could use the sound for the bass?
Oh! But how?
His puzzled face turns into a wicked grin.
What about the compressor? The one with the spiky hair was setting up to achieve some sort of parallel processing.
Interfacing. I thought I had better interfacing! And I can't level it up any further. Can I? Oh, I gotta actually. There we go. I don't think I have anything else. Maybe.
Good morning! Yeah! Harder!
Nope.
Bzz, 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 goes the track in the background, never ending. You can't grasp what's missing, but you can try to make something up anyway.
Make it up? No way he can tell the difference? I'm sure he can. Whereof one cannot speak, one ought to remain silent.
The young man bobs his head to the music, much as before.
I want to do it! Oh no! Oh shit, I just quick saved. There we go, Jesus. I just quick saved over my quick save.
Good morning! Yeah!
Bzz, bzz, bzz. The young man bobs his head to the music.
Is talking to anyone else help?
Oh, the god of dance is back! Goodbye, officer.
Hardcore.
You seen a red-haired woman around?
No.
Just no?
It's pretty desolate here. I only hear the dogs bark at night and see the shadows move down the coast.
Teenagers skulking around. Gang members looking for a hole in the Union's defenses. Maybe Ruby too. But she wouldn't be able to tell from here.
Well, I guess that's good. No neighbors to complain about noise when you get the club going.
Exactly. It's our chance to turn the grim desolation into an overwhelmingly fun dance party.
Okay.
Good morning! Yeah!
Side
I got it!
Beat.
What does that even mean?
Listen, you can use the compressor to select between which track it's compressing. Either the auxiliary signal or the main input from the tape. Make it alternate between the signals. The compressor controls the gain based on the level of the signal on the aux side chain input. It will allow maintaining a loud sound without peaks that fill up all the headspace.
Okay, explain the concept to Egghead.
Sidechaining it, you said!
He turns down the music, his hands moving deftly across the mixer, setting up the necessary controls.
Then he puts on his headphones and his eyes go wide. Wider than they've ever gone on drugs. He starts jumping up and down with bliss in total silence, still listening to his headphones.
Hey, what did you do to Egghead, Cop Man? Did you break him?
I'm not sure.
Are you ready, pussy?
Noid straightens his back, ready for the beat.
I was born ready, Egg.
Give him a thumbs up. There we go.
The audio assault is glorious. The speed freak dances on the stage, intensely waving his hand in the air.
This is beauty! This is life!
Yay!
What in the world is going on? The way melody and bass flow together. It's unnatural.
Estelle looks on, amazed at the display. This one's for the Anodic generation. We've tamed... Yeah, okay.
Introducing the ultimate sound!
We have tamed the sound, made it our own.
God damn it. This dance club idea might just work out.
DeLorean Church! The place to be! Pump it! Pump it!
This is it. This is a new era. The fabric of the world has been irrevocably altered. Who will be the innocence of hardcore anodic dance music?
Hey, we're done. Anyone got anything to say?
Oh, the god of dance is back. Goodbye, officer.
Don't think so.
Good morning! Yo, man.
Hardcock.
Okay. Alright, no one had anything to say. Let's go get our gun. Save. Where are we supposed to meet this person? Someone's been running around near the old fish market, right? Okay. May wish I had better clothes for this. Let's take this off. Alright. See if that does anything. Said in the fish market. Who are we meeting and where? Oh, we were supposed to talk to Joyce. Nope, that'll push us past our, we can talk to Joyce after. Meet here near the old fish market. Walk past the fishing village until you see the boardwalk. Okay. Would I have time to talk to Joyce? Said before 2.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Been dealing with Everett again? She nods with well-contained curiosity.
She's not even asking you anything. It's so easy to just say.
This whole thing's a takeover.
A takeover?
It's not a strike. You aren't being let in because there's nothing to negotiate. The Union is taking the terminal.
If they're taking it...
She looks toward the colorful mountain of crates like toy blocks rising above Martinez.
Green livery, changing into red, blot by blot. Like a cancer of the blood, metastasizing.
Then we're talking about a war. Everett needs to let me into the harbor at once. We need to talk about this.
He's ready for war. They all are.
They most certainly are not. Crenell has 1,000 men on their payroll. The next batch will be a platoon of 20 men and a gunship.
I've seen the Union's forces. They are better organized than these mercenaries. They also have the support of the people of Revachol West. It will take more than Crenell to wipe them out. Wild Pines will need to send more and better equipped men. Make no mistake, ma'am. I am sure you have the money. The question is, how many years and how many lives are you willing to sacrifice?
What do you suggest I do?
Will this affect your decision-making process?
Everything affects the decision-making process, Detective.
Officer?
The look on the lieutenant's face conveys uncertainty. He doesn't even sound angry.
For once, I don't seem to know what the right thing to do is.
The worker should have the harbor cut off the snake's head. Everett's pushing all this. It's apocalypse o'clock. Yeah, this seems to be like the only option.
Like the previous leaders of the Union were assassinated. I suspect by Everett and Edgar themselves.
She considers it.
I admit there's some poetry in the idea, and like poetry, it's also useless. There would still be Edgar. They factored it in. The Union is them, and they are Martinez.
So what are you gonna do?
What will I do?
She looks around.
Did I ever tell you how they discovered this Isola? During our reality lowdown.
You said you would one day.
It may be the only break we've ever caught as a species. The last one for 400 years.
Why?
The nations who colonized this Isola called theirs Muindi, the world. It was all they knew, all they thought would be. That there would be something more was a gamble, akin to another world, or life after death. The Pale was thought to be impregnable, perpetual. Irene la Navigateur, the Queen of Suren, sent 8 expeditions, one after the other, into the mass at the edge of the world. 5 of the crews did not return. 2 did, but had lost their minds.
Is 8 a normal number?
It was anything but normal. There was no precedent, People thought she was punishing the admirals, or had gone mad, or both. Until after years of trial and error, and the development of a strict psychological regime imitating the creation process of poetry.
Called Volta Doma, or Return from the Sea.
The 8th expedition returned sane and intact. They told of a new continent of matter. They told the Queen and her counselor, Dolores Day, that the Pale had begun to condense, day after day, hour after hour, minute after minute, slowly raining down until it formed a vast ocean.
The air is cold and scented with petrichor. There are rain circles on water all around. Humidity crawls up your back like a piano trill.
Put your hand in the rain.
So does the lieutenant. His mouth is slightly open as he looks to the sky. The droplets feel warm, like spring rain.
This ocean?
The phenomenon has never again been encountered. For a time, the crew thought they were experiencing a hallucination. The mass hand proclaimed, "Lancielinde, Lancielinde," the signal to wake up. But they could not. They were sane and conscious, as islands began to appear on the horizon. There are 78,000 uninhabited islands in the Insulindian archipelago, officer. The freckled face of God.
She smiles.
You've thought it a million times.
After life, death, life again. After the world, the Pale. After the Pale, the world again.
A total shift in human comprehension of reality. On the second day, a great skua was shot down above the flagship Elysium. The bird was preserved and brought back, along with pollen. 4 years later, the Queen's Counselor was proclaimed Her Innocence Dolores Day, the elected world spirit. The age of humanism, internationalism, and parliamentary rule followed. We were high.
Leaving us here, the great skua was the first bird they saw?
The first living, autonomous organism. Proof of reality. It's the symbol of Insulinde, Detective. The coat of arms of the suzerain and the wings on the crest of the commune.
I seem to have it in for it, or it for me. I broke one.
In your defense, it is a nasty creature who plucks food from the throats of lesser birds. Yet much like Revachol, it is also magnificent and rare. Imagine the suzerain of seagulls.
There was a sting in your heart at the mention before, when she said its name.
I guess leaving us here?
On Caillou. The Pebble. The largest of the fertile, uninhabited islands of the northeast Insulindian archipelago. 4 centuries and 2 revolutions later.
And this was the last break we got.
The nations of Mundi proceeded to discover 5 more Isolae. Or they discovered us. All in the rush of the great inter-Islary reconnection. But these others weren't uninhabited. We had to kill people there. Wipe out indigenous populations, gunboat economies. Or they came to do the same for us, or had done to each other. But here...
She spreads her arms.
There was no one but the skua, the Liliat Sea, and the Blood Beach, and the River Esperance. It was the new world. The Mondials used it to amass the greatest concentration of wealth mankind has ever seen. Revachol. The suzerain.
What happened?
Revolution. Poverty. And the mercurial rise of capitalism.
She nods. It's raining.
It is. Soon it will be spring and everything will blossom.
She pulls the hood over her head.
The gangs will run wild, jacking motor carriages, ferrying amphetamines through Coal City. Spring is tough in Revachol.
The lieutenant keeps his hand in the rain. What will you do?
I will surrender Terminal B to the Union.
Is that within your means?
She puts her hand in the rain. She's silent for a second.
We will see.
It is. It is well within her authority. It's been clear for some time that this woman is more than she lets on.
Ma'am, this may well unravel property law this side of the river. If that occurs, we may never see the end of this kind of confrontation. The next time there will be 2 strikes, then 4, then 100.
What happens will happen.
She takes the end of her rain-slick hand and starts untying the knot.
The age of capital has only begun. I will talk to my employers in person. We will amputate and cauterize Martinez. If you handle the situation on the ground.
We? Oh, rhetoric. You're going now?
Yes, Mr. Clare has a 2-month head start. I can't let it grow any bigger. And I've exhausted all my options from here.
So... yeah, let's hope I can pass this.
There are no employers. She's a member of the board. Probably a partner.
Oh. You are the Wild Pines. There are no employers.
You are the citizens' militia. There are no superiors.
She turns to your rope in hand. So are you responsible for the 2 guys? Of course I have superiors.
That's right, detective. And next time, you should confer with them before you go setting events in motion.
What?
Despite his words, he's not really sure whether to be annoyed with you or not.
What did I do? What did I do?
Events are already in motion. Whether your actions accelerated or momentarily retarded their progress, even the lieutenant cannot really say.
I shouldn't have given her advice? Is that what he's saying? I still don't really understand who you are or what your angle is.
I have not deceived you. I told you exactly who I was. Joyce Layton.
Okay, let her go.
Keep the peace, and I will keep my end of the bargain.
How far along is Cronell's investigation?
A confrontation is imminent. They have followed in your footsteps. As your investigation reaches a climax, so does theirs. They are your shadow. Arm yourselves. Armor yourselves. Protect their targets. Violence may be unavoidable, but we can limit the casualties.
When will they make their move and where?
Soon. I do not know precisely. They have cut off all communication, you see. They know I've been feeding you information. One last thing, Lieutenant Dubois. I've given the matter much thought and come to this conclusion. You're not an amnesiac. You're insane. I know, because I, too, am insane. I just hide my illness better. And I'm rich.
Isn't everybody a little insane? You're over-radiated. How do you keep it together?
The same strict psychological regimen the 8th Admiral developed when he crossed the Pale and discovered this Isola, the Volta do Mar. It's used by inter-Islary travelers and other troubled souls, even to this day.
You could use a little of it yourself.
Huh. Isn't everybody a little insane?
No, Detective. No one's as insane as you.
Thanks.
Don't worry, madame. I am very sane.
Thanks, Kim. You're over-radiated.
I'm overexposed, baby. My travels take me through the Pale dozens of times a year. I've got the longing. And I've got it bad.
She points to her heart.
She would die to return to it. The Pale. The past. Anything one can return to.
Goodbye, Joyce Layton.
Watch out for yourselves. They will strike soon.
She smiles?
The lieutenant watches her boat grow smaller on the bay, its white sails fluttering. With worry in his eyes, he does not know if it was the right thing to do, but he doesn't say anything.
I didn't realize I made a choice.
You wonder what Everard has to say about this. Slowly, the sails turn grey-blue as more oxygen gets between you.
I didn't realize I made a specific decision.